It's package day, and I love package day. I love getting these light brown boxes and opening them up and reminding myself of what it was I ordered, sometimes weeks before. Today, I've received some new flat pedals, a new chainring, and a pair of 510 Hellcats, which is where I'll focus my opinions today. I'll give my opinions on the other stuff another time. I've wanted these Hellcats for a while, but I couldn't find a local reseller and was nervous about ordering them online, getting the size wrong, and having to deal with that whole postal returns thing during COVID times. Eventually, I bit the bullet, and here we are. Let me start with this. I really like these shoes. They get top points from me, with only one minor niggle around fit, which I'm pretty sure is more to do with me than with the shoes. I figured there are 5 key things we look for in a mountain biking shoe: fit or comfort, support, functionality, value for money, and maybe aesthetics. The functionality category is a bit broad, so I'll break that down further when we get to it. Let's start with fit. I comfortably take a size 45.5, which is 11 US. I have long, narrow feet with a low rise, on the clown shoes side of normal, but not wildly out there. I ordered the size 11 US Hellcats, and they fit perfectly. When I say perfectly, I mean if they were 2 millimeters smaller, I'd be in trouble. So these are a little on the smaller side, but I'd still say a relatively normal fit. The laces zone is wide, so no problems drawing these in for a tight fit, even on my narrower feet. They have enough padding that they feel like a regular street shoe, albeit a touch heavier. Some biking shoes feel more like wooden clogs than shoes, very utilitarian, but not these. They are plenty comfortable, but I wouldn't go so far as to call them cushy. As I said, I have only one niggle, and I think it's my fault, not the shoes. The inside edge puts pressure on my inside ankles. I was actually lightly bruised after riding for the first 40 minutes. I suspect this is because I pronate. As I understand it, pronation is where your leg muscles let your lower legs turn in, dropping the inside ankle slightly and dropping your arches. I'm not a podiatrist, but I don't think my pronation is severe. All the same, I've done a few rides now, and I'm not sure if I'm just getting used to it or if they're softening up or what, but it seems to be getting better. I'll let you know when I give my long-term opinion. As for support, the Hellcats seem to have been designed to suit the widest array of feet possible, which means while they're adequately supportive, they certainly don't seem designed to help lift fallen arches or anything like that. Not that they should be. The laces strap nicely across the top, and all in all, my feet feel very well held right where they should be. When riding, it feels like I'm on platform pedals. While that's in part because of the hybrid style of the pedals I'm using, it's also a large part because of the comfort and quality in the design of the shoes. There are 3 main areas of functionality I want to cover: the build of the shoe and suitability for its intended use, the cleat support, these are clipless shoes after all, and foot protection. Let me start by saying that these shoes appear to be very well put together. They're double-stitched in what seem like sensible places, appear to have very solidly glued joins, and all the materials seem appropriately thick. It'd take quite a thorn to pierce through these things. I've taken a couple of falls already, and these guys have been twisted and banged, and they're still coming up clean. Also, the soles have a very solid rubber compound. It's something called Stealth C4 rubber, which I think is a 510 technology, but don't quote me on that. I feel like the sole is exactly the right balance of hardness and stickiness. They're hard enough that flat pedal pins and the occasional pedal strike won't tear them to pieces faster than you can de-shoe, but also grippy enough that you can save yourself on that precarious rock with just the toes grip when you're having a fall. Despite having a solid sole, the shoes still feel very comfortable, and they're plenty flexible. I think that's in part because they have a layer of cushier compound between the Stealth C4 and the rest of the shoe. This mix works very well, in my opinion. Fixing the cleats was a cinch. The cleat box is roomy enough to allow plenty of access, both for attaching the cleats in the first place and for clipping in when you're mounting on your bike. There's also these neat ridges which help hold the cleat still while you're adjusting them, but also provide some guidelines for quick alignment. Clipping into pedals is easy, with absolutely no obstruction from the shoe, and matching the cleat to the pedal clamp was simply intuitive. As far as protection goes, I already mentioned the solid sole and thick protective upper shoe. The last thing to note here is the rise. These shoes come up close to the ankles. They have good coverage over the Achilles tendon and good coverage over the top of the foot right up to the leg. This will help with those little cuts and stabs from razor-like tussocks and low-lying branches or sticks. It will also help prevent small pieces of gravel flying up and into the top of your shoes and working its way down until you can't bear it anymore and need to empty out. And let's not forget that hook and loop strap across the top. Holding my laces away from the chainring both saves an inconvenient tanking and saves on buying new laces when my chainring teeth chew straight through them. There are definitely both cheaper and more expensive clipless shoes. Using these shoes doesn't technically save me any material money, except perhaps the price of some sticking plasters and the laces I mentioned earlier. However, I do thoroughly enjoy the surety, the comfort, and the reduction in pain and suffering that I feel I get by using the Hellcats. Also, it's convenient to be okay wearing these socially if I want to head out directly after a ride. And that brings me to the last consideration, aesthetics. This is a very personal thing, and you don't have to agree with me at all. I think the Hellcats look great. Sure, they're not as svelte as modern fashion dictates, but they don't look like cycling shoes, and don't look out of place under some relaxed fit jeans or a t-shirt and shorts. And from a pair of mountain bike shoes with all the benefits I've outlined above, that's a win in my book. Let me know in the comments what you did and didn't like about this opinion piece, and other things that you'd like me to give further opinions on. I'll endeavour to reflect your feedback. Thanks for watching.